Hello guys. Hi Miss Caitlin and hi everybody in the classroom. So I'm actually recording this video while playing Call of Duty. It's an action-oriented game. So what I'd like to say that first, what I'm going to be talking about today is esports and everything about esports actually, its rise and how it started. But today in this video, right now, before I go into my presentation later on in class, I'd like to show you about the skills that actually the skills that are shown in this game, or like at least in this game, one of many other awesome games. So please, let's get started. So right now, as you can see, we're playing Call of Duty. Call of Duty is actually an action-oriented game, and we're playing a game mode called Domination, which is an objective-oriented game, oriented mode. Sorry. So the main objective in this gameplay is to do what? Is to capture the objective and keep it as long as you can until the time limit goes. And I'm playing with 6 people in my team and 6 people in the other team. I'm playing with one of my friends. So here, as you can see, I'm playing with 2 guns. Okay, I'm playing with a sniper and SMG. So when you're playing this, you have to always keep track of people around you. You have to keep track of your teammates and your enemies. And this goes back to the skills that I've said before, in my 2-minute topical. So first thing, we have one of the skills is memory. So for example, by memory, I know how to use my controller. So I'm playing with a controller. I know what to press. I don't have to look at it. It's hand-eye coordination. It's improved by this game. It takes practice. It takes all of that, just as any normal sport. And then speed. You have to be aware of every surroundings, which makes you twitchy a little bit. You're a little bit twitchy, not in real life, in the game. But that's how you play this game. You have to always know what you're surrounding, what you're playing, who are your enemies, who's with you, who's against you, where are the objectives, are they getting taken, or are you taking them? So you know where to go. So actually, this game is, you just don't play it. It needs a strategy, and most professional teams, or about all of them actually, play with a strategy. They put a strategy and a plan. It's made by the team leader, and they play. Just like any other sport, you're playing with a team. It's a team sport. You have a plan and you follow the plan. So actually, and then we have focus. You focus on every single little detail. And people keep saying it makes your eyesight worse. It actually doesn't make your eyesight worse. It makes your eyesight better. A study has been made that actually, especially Call of Duty players, their eyesight is way better than an average human player, or an average human that doesn't play video games. Their eyesight's actually better. But again, that doesn't mean that you should play for 12 hours a day or something. No, for example, you go to work for 9 hours a day maybe. Yeah, or go to school for 8 hours a day. Some people have their work. They train 8 hours a day for this and play for fun also with their friends, and then they rest a bit, and then they go back on. That's how they make money. That's how all this happens. And this is why it's esports. It's a sport. And I will get into that in depth with all the esports and statistics and all that in my presentation soon, after this video. But here I want to show you the skills that are needed, the skills that are improved by this game. So overall, it's memory, knowing where everything is. Attention, you know if there's someone in front of you or not. You can't just be talking to someone outside of the game and play. You're gonna do very bad. You're gonna let your team down. Okay, it's a team sport. You have creativity with your guns, your colors, your camos, all that. Okay, and you have focusing on the game, and focusing on every single teeny bit detail. Even a laser, this laser that you see in the scope, that green thing, if you pause, you'll see it when I scope in with the sniper. That you can see from your enemy can see that, so you have to put it in behind them or on them, so they don't see it. They're not aware of you. Yeah. So actually, It gives you better vision, better attention, and better cognition. Yeah, and just so actually back to the point where people say that people who have play video games are these like fat people, like the stereotype that they're fat people, they don't have any friends, they're in a basement with like living with their mom and all that. That's not true. It's not true at all. Actually, this gaming community makes us like it connects us together, and especially through what's happening right now with the pandemic, with everything, this COVID-19 stuff. It's actually like it's really powerful. It brings us all back together, and that's a good thing. I think it's a positive thing about gaming. But okay, so now we have to talk about the negatives also. So for example, as anything, too much of anything is bad. So for example, like people who don't play on controller, they play on mouse and keyboard. If you stay more than like about I think 13 hours or something like that, first thing you're gonna feel really tired. You're gonna feel drained. Your eyes are gonna start hurting, and your hands are gonna start hurting from playing because you're just moving them constantly. You're not even looking at like your hand. You're just moving it. You know what you're doing, and that's a good thing. I feel like that's a good thing, but at the same time, it's a bad thing because you may hurt your muscles. You may hurt all that. You're tiring yourself. For example, and I felt that through like personal experience. My most time playing was I actually went for 18 hours on the PlayStation without going off. No toilet, no nothing. 18 hours straight. I never got off the PlayStation. So actually after that, I felt so tired. I felt drained. I had this headache. I may have done good in the game, but I felt physically drained, and mentally. It's a bad thing. Too much of anything is a bad thing. So that's why you should never like do too much of anything. As any other, like, people take this as a job, as I said. So an esports, like, taking this as a job, you can't stay up all night grading papers. You can't just stay up all night grading papers. For you, Miss Caitlin, even, I don't think you should, or you do, because it's gonna mentally hurt you and physically tire you. You take breaks in the middle. The same thing with gaming. Let's say go 6 hours. I take a 5-hour break and then I go back. That's how I think it should be. And anyways, I want to say thank you, and back to the presentation. Actually, to me. So like, go back to the presentation. Let's go.